YouTubers, it's me, Arlene Caffrey, and I am back, yay! I know it's been quite a while since I've done one of these video tutorials, tips and tricks. Yeah, I've just been busy for the past 12 months focusing on a lot of other different projects. Yeah, so that's it really. I've just been up the walls and yeah, I'm back with some more handy tips and tricks for you guys. Yes, I've had a lot of requests to do one of these on the no-handed Jade split. That's actually one of my most favorite tricks ever of all time. I love doing it. If you've watched my videos of competitions and performances and stuff, you know that I do it a lot. And yeah, I have to say I've been doing it so much that I think I'm pretty good at it, and I've got some really handy tips to help you to get yours looking hopefully just as good as mine. That being said, I've put a lot of work into making this look good, and you will unfortunately need to spend a lot of time as well. If you're not naturally flexible like 90% of the population, you're going to have to put that little bit of extra work into your flexibility training. So keep up your flexibility classes in whichever studio is near to you. If you're in Dublin, come here to Irish Pole Dance Academy, where we have flexibility classes all the time. So the flyer your Jade split is, or so the flyer your split is, the easier you're going to find the no-handed Jade. Yeah, that being said as well, with these tutorial guides, if you do have requests for things you want me to do tips and tricks on, I will do that. Just ask nicely, say please and thank you, always appreciated. And of course, remember, I'm available here in Dublin. If you're based in Dublin or if you're visiting Dublin, come to Irish Pole Dance Academy. If not, you can book a private lesson with me through Skype if there's something that you really want tips and tricks on that I can't safely do through one of these videos. Cool, right. Heels on, Jade split, let's go. Make sure you're super warm, make sure you've got a spotter. Okay kids. All right kiddos, so here we go, no-handed Jade. A few things I want to talk about before we get into it is the entry and the transition into it. As you can see from the demo I did at the start of the video, I'm going into it on spin pole, just straight up chopper, catching into hip hold, boom, I'm going straight there, job done. You can obviously do it from flatline Scorpio, an outside leg hang, or shooting star Jasmine. There are so many ways that you can get into it. It's up to you to choose your own adventure and pick what's right for you. In regards to the tips and tricks I'm going to give you today, it's more about the technique of the no-handed Jade rather than how you get into it. Happy to go through that with you if you want to book a private lesson. But yeah, whatever way you're getting into it is fine. We'll just focus on the split itself because it's different from a typical handed, old school kind of Jade split. I'm going to talk about the orientation of the pelvis first, and I'm actually going to go this side of the pole so you can see a little bit better what's going on. So your no-handed Jade split, I want you to think of it as an inside leg hang, because that's essentially what it is, and the same rules apply as if you're doing an inside leg hang. So, inside leg hang, yay! So as you can see, the pole is going to be really nice and tight in the space in between my ribs and my hips. To break it down more specifically, the hip bone pole is up there in a nice like fleshy bit. And we've got our inside leg on. So, I find it really easy to be in like a pike here. Again, that's more like transitions into it. So I can grab my ankle. The lower down your leg that you can grab, the better. Again, this depends on your flexibility, but if you're trying to get into your Jade split from here, you're gonna have a really hard time. Think of it as a lever. It's like trying to close a door without pushing on the door handle. Super hard, right? So the further down your leg that you can grab, the better. That's going to make your life a hell of a lot easier. I also want you to think about turning your hips away from the pole, towards you, towards the camera. A lot of what I see in a no-handed Jade split is that we're trying to curl this direction towards the pole. And what you're doing when you do that is you're actually like losing your contact point in here. Whereas if I'm rolling away from the pole, so now going that way, the pole is going to get really locked, nice and tight in here in the hip joint. So keep that in mind. Turn your pelvis away from the pole. Grab as high as you can on your leg so that you can really pull it towards your face. Again, keep working on your flexibility till you got it. With your other leg, of course, you want to really squeeze the butt so you can get it nice and straight. Don't be afraid to lie down as well. What do I mean by lying down specifically? So when you are in your invert, going into your Jade split, don't be afraid to lean away from the pole. That's going to give you your counterbalance. Also think about slightly tilting your pelvis. When I say tilt, you're tilting the pelvis like so, rather than keeping it tucked under. The pelvic tilt is going to help you to get your other leg down flat. The one that's that you're not holding on to. Okay, so let's get onto the pole, and I will show you what I mean more specifically, like in real time with a Jade split. I will do it on spin just so that you can see the whole thing with a really nice slow spin, so you can see where the contact points are. Alrighty, so I'm going to get into this from my chopper, just going straight into it on spin pole. You can do this on static pole as well. You don't have to be spinning. I just like to do it on spin pole, but it works the same way. Yes, I encourage you to try it this way. If you're able to, of course, because I find that this is the best position to get into to get the pole straight away where I want it. Sometimes entries from like shooting stars and flying Scorpios, the pole can often end up somewhere quite high, like literally on your ribs, which is not very comfortable, and it means that you're not going to get a strong enough anchor point, which is what we want for this no-handed Jade. Needs to be in your fleshy part here, like just above your hip bone, right there, and also on the inside of your hip, obviously. But yeah, pay attention to where the pole is on your ribs when you're getting into it from however you're getting into it. Try it this way though, if you can. Give it a lash, as we say here in Ireland. Okie dokie. So here we go. Straddle invert, inside leg, inside hand. I'm wheeling that other leg back, slightly turning out my leg. I'm turning a little bit away from the pole so I can see you high as I spin around. And I'm really engaging this leg to keep it as straight as possible. Whew. Stick it out. And as I go back into the inside leg hang. Easiest way out. You can do, of course, hand the exit like you like. There you are. Whee. Maybe one of these guys. Scorpio handstand, of course, from other previous tutorials. But hopefully that gives you a bit more of an insight as to how to do it nice and slowly with control and going from a straddle invert. It makes sure that the pole is nice and high here. As I said there a second ago, that the pole does not get in your ribs. So avoid your rib cage as much as possible. So top things you need to remember. 1, flexibility. You gotta have really good flexibility in your hamstrings to get that leg as close to your little head as possible. Grab as low as possible to make sure that you've got a good nice lever to pull it that way. Turn your hips away from the pole a little bit and your torso and your chest. That will help you to get that rotation that you want. Pull needs to be in here, not here, not in the bones, it hurts. Yeah, and slightly turn out your other leg. Squeeze the butt as hard as you can. Push that knee straight. You should be engaging from the very top of your hip all the way down through to your ankle to get a nice flat split as well. If you slightly tilt your pelvis as well, that will help too. Think of it like your, go this way. Think of it like your no-handed floor Jade. Slight pelvic tilt is getting that back leg a little bit closer to the floor. So there you have it, my top tips for no-handed Jade. Let me know how you get on with that. If you're on Instagram, follow me at Arlene Caffrey. I'd love to see your progress with it. So tag me in your pictures and videos. Yay, awesome. Okay, yay, thanks, till next time, bye.